Have you ever dreamed of escaping the relentless noise and chaos of city life to immerse yourself in pristine, untouched nature? Imagine wandering through lush jungles, discovering rare wildlife, and experiencing the vibrant, centuries-old traditions of a land far from the familiar. Indonesia, often called the land of a thousand islands, offers such extraordinary encounters with wild landscapes, rich biodiversity, and mesmerizing cultural practices. Here, towering volcanoes frequently erupt, spewing white smoke into the sky, creating breathtaking and almost surreal vistas that leave visitors in awe. With over 300 ethnic groups, each preserving its distinct language, customs, and arts, Indonesia is a tapestry of diversity. Travelers can dive into lively festivals such as the Festival of Closeness, where strangers come together in a ritual believed to bring good fortune from the gods, or sample unusual delicacies like fried snake meat, offering a taste of local daring and tradition. After sunset, the country's nightlife bursts into vibrant colors, with bustling bars and clubs that pulse with energy. Yet, it's important to remember that Indonesia enforces strict laws against premarital relationships and cohabitation outside of marriage, reflecting the country's conservative values. One of the most remarkable and unusual festivals in Indonesia is the Festival of Closeness, also known as the Festival of Intimacy with Strangers. Regardless of whether participants are married, this ritual is believed to invoke blessings from the divine. Held 7 times a year at the sacred Gunung Kuken Temple on the holy mountain of Java, the festival draws thousands of pilgrims and visitors. Participants begin by washing themselves in spring water to purify their bodies before seeking out a stranger with whom they will share an intimate embrace. Importantly, this person must not be their spouse. To receive divine blessings and good luck, the ritual must be repeated with the same individual 7 consecutive times. During the festival, participants exchange phone numbers and addresses to facilitate the process. The entire ceremony spans approximately 35 days, and many participants are entrepreneurs who believe that this unique tradition brings them prosperity and success. Known as the Hill of Love, Gunung Kuken's summit hosts a Muslim temple where men and women from various backgrounds gather, regardless of their marital status, to partake in the ritual, seeking fortune and abundance. What are your thoughts on this extraordinary festival? Would you consider participating or find it fascinating? Share your opinion in the comments. Turning to the night scene in Indonesia, especially in Jakarta, it is generally regarded as offering high-quality entertainment. Popular venues such as BFSH and DNF attract both locals and tourists seeking lively atmospheres, music, and socializing. However, beneath this energetic surface, there exists a darker side connected to the country's ongoing struggle with prostitution and red light districts. Legally, prostitution is considered a moral crime in Indonesia, and since 2019, authorities have launched campaigns to shut down red light areas. For instance, the district of Koto Jodo in Jakarta was closed in efforts to curb illegal activities. Despite these efforts, underground forms of prostitution persist, taking new shapes like online dating platforms, clandestine clubs, and strip bars. Experts estimate that in Jakarta, 3 main red light districts still operate, including Jalan Fatan in the M block of South Jakarta, known as Little Tokyo, as well as Jalan Pandaran in North Jakarta. These areas continue to attract sex tourists despite ongoing law enforcement campaigns. Another intriguing cultural practice involves life after death on the island of Sulawesi, where unique customs surrounding the deceased have persisted for generations. This tradition, rooted in local beliefs and ancestral reverence, showcases a society that maintains a profound connection with its ancestors through elaborate rituals and ceremonies. Such practices highlight the diverse and complex cultural landscape of Indonesia, where old customs often coexist alongside modern influences, creating a fascinating blend of tradition and contemporary life. In the remote region of Tadoji, a unique funerary custom exists that reflects the community's deep spiritual beliefs. The Tadoji people view death not as an end, but as a transition to another realm. On the island of Sulawesi, where this community resides, a distinctive ritual surrounds the burial of their deceased. The locals firmly believe that death simply marks the beginning of a new phase of existence, and as a result, they see their departed loved ones as remaining an integral part of family life rather than being completely gone. Instead of burying their relatives immediately after death, the Tadoji allow the bodies to remain at home for extended periods, sometimes for weeks, months, or even several years. During this time, the bodies are carefully preserved through a process involving formalin and herbal concoctions that help prevent decomposition. Once preserved, they are dressed in new clothing, adorned with jewelry, and placed in beautifully decorated coffins. These coffins are often kept within the family's house or stored in nearby caves, serving as a constant reminder of the enduring bond between the living and the dead. Family members regularly visit these resting places, engaging in calm conversations, offering food and gifts, and maintaining a close connection with their ancestors. This ongoing relationship is reinforced by an annual festival known as Rambo Salo, a complex and costly ceremony dedicated to sending the spirits of the departed into the afterlife. During this festival, the coffins are opened, and the bodies are washed, redressed in fresh clothes, and paraded through the village in a solemn procession. After the procession, the bodies are returned to their coffins and later buried in caves or family tombs, completing the ritual. Although this tradition might seem frightening or incomprehensible to outsiders, for the Tadoji people, it is a vital expression of their cultural identity and spiritual values. It demonstrates profound respect for their ancestors and a firm belief in the continuation of life beyond death. Alongside these burial customs, the Tadoji community upholds strict taboos related to premarital intimacy and cohabitation. In Indonesia, where these practices are prevalent, there exists a rigorous legal framework that criminalizes extramarital relations and living together without marriage. The Indonesian Penal Code prescribes penalties for such infractions, with offenders facing up to 1 year of imprisonment for engaging in extramarital affairs and up to 6 months for cohabitation outside marriage. These laws apply equally to Indonesian citizens and foreign residents living in Indonesia. The legislation has already been passed by the Indonesian parliament, although its enforcement has been postponed for 3 years to allow for the development of detailed regulations. These laws are primarily enforced when complaints are lodged with the police. For married couples, filing a formal complaint is within the rights of the spouse, making the legal process more accessible for those seeking to address violations of moral conduct. In some regions of Indonesia, especially in the province of Aceh, where the majority of the population adheres to Islam, Sharia law governs personal conduct. Under Sharia, violations such as gambling, adultery, alcohol consumption, and homosexuality are met with public punishments, including caning. In recent years, such punishments have become increasingly visible. For example, in 2021, 2 individuals were publicly whipped 77 times after neighbors accused them of homosexual activity. In another case, a man and a woman were sentenced to 20 lashes each for being caught together outside marriage. Early in 2022, a woman was publicly whipped 100 times for adultery. These strict laws and their enforcement often provoke debate and mixed reactions. Some view them as necessary for upholding moral standards and religious principles, while others criticize their severity and the potential for human rights violations. What are your thoughts on Indonesia's rigorous legal measures concerning morality and social conduct? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments. Additionally, Indonesia's ban on alcohol consumption reflects its cultural and religious landscape. As a nation with the world's largest Muslim population, the country regulates the sale and use of alcoholic beverages with strict laws. The majority of Indonesians adhere to Islamic principles, which prohibit alcohol consumption, leading to significant restrictions in many regions. In Indonesia, the influence of Islamic teachings and local cultural norms deeply shape social behavior and rules. According to Sharia law, the consumption of alcohol is strictly prohibited, which significantly restricts or entirely bans its use in public spaces across the country. Alcoholic beverages are only available in specific licensed venues, such as authorized stores, certain hotels, and tourist resorts. When purchasing alcohol in these places, customers are usually required to present valid identification to verify their age, and they may also face limits on the quantity they can buy at one time. Outside these designated areas, particularly in public venues like beaches, parks, and on public transportation, drinking alcohol is generally forbidden or heavily restricted, especially for tourists. Visitors are advised to respect local customs by refraining from consuming alcohol in public to avoid misunderstandings or offending local sensibilities. Respecting personal space and social boundaries is another crucial aspect of navigating Indonesian society, which is characterized by its rich tapestry of cultural and religious diversity. For example, maintaining physical distance from women is particularly important, especially in regions where Islamic influence is strong. Men are encouraged to act respectfully towards women and to avoid unnecessary physical closeness. Gestures common in Western cultures, such as holding hands or kissing on the cheek, are often considered inappropriate here. If you happen to meet an elderly woman, she might extend her hand for a gentle touch, which you should acknowledge by lightly touching her hand before bringing it to your forehead, a traditional sign of respect. When staying in hotels, if you are unaccompanied by your partner, it's best to either have separate rooms or inform the staff about your relationship to prevent any potential issues. When greeting women, a warm smile and a slight nod of the head are preferred over a handshake. If a woman offers her hand first, you should respond carefully and politely with your right hand. During conversations, avoid prolonged direct contact, particularly with young women, as this can be perceived as rude or inappropriate. Tourists are also advised to dress modestly, covering shoulders and knees, especially when visiting religious sites or conservative neighborhoods. Public displays of intimacy, such as hugging, kissing, or embracing, are considered inappropriate and should be avoided. For women, dressing in a manner that respects local modesty is especially important, and revealing clothing should be avoided in public settings. Indonesia is famously known as the homeland of the Komodo dragon, a creature that captures the imagination of many visitors. This vast archipelago, the largest in the world, is renowned not only for its stunning tropical islands and rich cultural diversity but also for being the habitat of the legendary Komodo dragon, the largest living lizard on Earth. These impressive reptiles inhabit the islands of Komodo, Rinca, Flores, and Gili Matan. The Komodo dragon can grow up to 3 meters in length and weigh as much as 150 kilograms. With its thick, scaled skin, sharp teeth, and swift movements, the Komodo dragon appears both formidable and awe-inspiring, embodying the raw power of nature. As apex predators in their ecosystem, these creatures hunt a wide range of prey, including deer, wild boar, buffalo, and even zebras. Their venom contains toxins that induce paralysis in their victims, leading to death within a few hours. There have been documented cases of these dragons attacking humans, making them especially dangerous. The Komodo National Park has become a popular destination for adventurous tourists eager to explore this unique environment. Visitors often embark on guided tours within the park, where they can observe these majestic reptiles in their natural habitat. The experience of walking amidst the rugged landscapes, surrounded by the sounds of nature and the sight of these ancient predators, leaves a lasting impression. Despite their fearsome reputation, the Komodo dragons are a vital part of the island's ecosystem, and conservation efforts continue to protect these remarkable creatures for future generations to admire and study. Deep within the lush, sprawling forests and majestic mountains of Indonesia lies a fascinating tapestry of life, culture, and traditions that captivates the imagination of explorers and scientists alike. Among the most remarkable creatures that inhabit this diverse landscape are the Komodo dragons, the world's largest lizards. These ancient reptiles, once on the brink of extinction, have seen their numbers substantially increase thanks to dedicated conservation efforts. Today, thanks to relentless protection and habitat preservation, their populations are gradually recovering. However, despite this positive trend, the Komodo dragon remains classified as a vulnerable species by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, emphasizing the ongoing importance of safeguarding their natural environment. Preserving and protecting the habitats of these majestic creatures remains a paramount priority for conservationists who understand that the survival of the Komodo dragon hinges on maintaining the delicate balance of their ecosystem. Meanwhile, hidden among Indonesia's extensive rainforests and towering mountain ranges, a mysterious tribe known as the Boden people captures the curiosity of travelers and researchers from around the globe. This tribe, distinguished by their strikingly vivid blue eyes, is a living testament to nature's extraordinary diversity. The Boden community's remarkable eye color has become a defining feature that draws visitors to their homeland. Scientific studies have revealed that the striking blue eyes of the Boden people are caused by a rare genetic condition called Waardenburg syndrome, a hereditary disorder affecting pigmentation. This syndrome influences the pigmentation of skin, eyes, and hair, resulting in the characteristic blue or grayish-blue eyes, and in some cases, light blonde or nearly white hair. Despite this unusual genetic trait, Waardenburg syndrome does not significantly impact the health of the Boden people, who lead a traditional lifestyle centered around agriculture, fishing, and the preservation of their distinctive cultural practices. For the Boden community, their blue eyes have become more than just a genetic curiosity. They symbolize their unique identity and cultural heritage. The striking appearance of the tribe has turned them into a subject of fascination for tourists, who visit the island of Boden not only to admire its pristine natural beauty but also to uncover the mystery of the blue-eyed tribe and learn about their rich traditions. However, because Waardenburg syndrome is hereditary, the number of Boden individuals born with these distinctive blue eyes is gradually decreasing. Today, only a small fraction of the tribe's children carry this defining feature, making the preservation of their unique genetic and cultural traits critically important. Protecting and supporting the continued existence of the Boden people's distinctive beauty and heritage is thus a matter of great significance, symbolizing the wonderful diversity of both nature and human culture. Their story serves as a vivid reminder of the importance of conserving endangered cultural identities and the rich tapestry of life that makes our world extraordinary. Beyond the realm of flora and fauna, Indonesia's culinary traditions showcase a vibrant and sometimes surprising array of flavors and techniques that reflect the archipelago's diverse cultural influences. Indonesian cuisine, renowned for its rich tapestry of spices, offers a sensory adventure that delights both locals and visitors. The unique ways in which dishes are prepared and consumed reveal a culinary culture that is as inventive as it is flavorful. Spices play a central role in shaping the distinctive taste profiles of many dishes, creating harmonious combinations that excite the palate. Among the many culinary experiments, some are quite unusual, often stemming from local traditions and resourcefulness. For instance, on the island of Java, a dish called satay bak is prepared by skewering meat from crows, then grilling it to a golden perfection before dousing it in a spicy peanut sauce. This dish is believed by local communities to have medicinal properties, especially in treating skin ailments and asthma. Similarly, in the northern region of Sub, residents hunt bats and cook them into a dish known as paniki, which involves roasting or frying the bats after marinating them with coconut milk, chili, and aromatic spices. Many locals hold the belief that consuming bat meat helps alleviate asthma symptoms and allergies, attributing medicinal qualities to this unusual delicacy. Further east, on the Maluku Islands and in parts of Papua, a different delicacy is popular: the larva of the sago worm, locally called ulat sago. These larvae thrive inside sago palm trees or coconut trees, and their consumption forms an integral part of local diets. The sago worms are harvested and prepared in various ways, often cooked with spices or fried until crispy. This tradition of eating sago worms exemplifies the resourcefulness of Indonesian communities in utilizing available natural resources, turning what might seem unusual to outsiders into a vital and cherished part of their culinary heritage. Indonesia's diverse culinary landscape, characterized by its bold flavors and inventive use of ingredients, offers a vivid reflection of the archipelago's cultural richness and adaptability. From rare genetic traits in remote tribes to extraordinary dishes rooted in local customs, the country's natural and cultural diversity continues to astonish and inspire those eager to explore its many facets. In the vibrant streets of Jakarta, street vendors often serve snake meat in a variety of ways, appealing to both adventurous and less daring diners alike. For the more cautious guests, snake meat might be presented cooked, either fried or boiled, accompanied by a spicy fish sauce that adds a bold kick to the dish. However, the true thrill seekers can indulge in more daring options, such as skewers of freshly grilled snake meat, which is commonly marinated beforehand to enhance its flavor. These skewers are then grilled over hot coals until perfectly tender, and are typically served with a sprinkle of chopped shallots, a dash of sweet soy sauce, and an array of fragrant spices that make each bite a sensory adventure. While these dishes may seem exotic or even extreme to some, they represent an integral part of Indonesia's rich culinary heritage. To taste them is to immerse oneself in the country's diverse food traditions and to gain a deeper appreciation for its unique flavors. One must not miss the opportunity to try a traditional Indonesian beverage called orek, which contains a drop of snake blood mixed with honey. Local men believe that consuming this mixture can boost their sexual vitality, a belief rooted in age-old traditions and folklore. Despite their unusual ingredients and preparation methods, such dishes are deeply embedded in the culinary culture of Indonesia. If you ever have the chance to visit this vibrant nation, make sure to sample these distinctive foods, allowing yourself to experience their unparalleled flavors and to connect more profoundly with Indonesian culinary customs. Moving to a different but equally important topic, it's crucial to acknowledge the ongoing issues faced by women across Indonesia. According to a national survey conducted by the government addressing violence against women, approximately one-third of women aged between 15 and 64 have experienced some form of violence at some point in their lives. The survey revealed that violence is most prevalent among women with higher education levels and those living in urban areas. In fact, government reports from 2018 indicated that the majority of violence incidents involving women occurred within the confines of their own homes. Independent research carried out by a coalition of human rights organizations paints a concerning picture, showing that women in Indonesia are frequently victims of harassment in public spaces, on streets, in public transportation, at workplaces, and within educational institutions. The survey involved over 62,000 women, providing a stark insight into the widespread nature of the problem. These findings highlight the urgent need for continued efforts to combat gender-based violence and to promote safer environments for women across the country, both in private and public spheres. In Indonesia, a significant portion of women, more than 10% from various regions across the country, have experienced some form of verbal harassment at least once in their lives. The statistics become even more startling when considering younger women. Over half of them, especially those under the age of 16, have faced such inappropriate behavior. These figures highlight the pervasive nature of gender-based mistreatment and the urgent need for societal change. Amidst these concerning realities, Indonesia also hosts some extraordinary cultural traditions that captivate both locals and tourists alike. One such event takes place on the majestic Bromo volcano, situated in East Java. This volcano, with its imposing presence and volcanic activity, is the site of a unique and intriguing ceremony that draws visitors from all over the world. Known as the Kasada Festival, it is organized by the Tengger people, an indigenous community with a rich cultural heritage. This festival is not only a celebration but also a profound expression of ancient beliefs and gratitude for nature's powers. The origins of the Kasada festival are rooted in a legendary story involving a royal couple named Roro Anong and Joko Siga. According to legend, the couple was childless and prayed fervently to the volcano god Bromo for offspring. Their prayers were answered with a promise of 25 children. However, after the birth of only 2 children, the couple regretted their vow and sought to avoid fulfilling it. The volcano god, angered by their failure to honor their promise, punished them with a fierce eruption, which devastated their community. To appease the volcano god and ensure future prosperity, the Tengger people began an annual ritual of offerings and sacrifices during the full moon in June. During this festival, villagers from nearby settlements trek up the slopes of Mount Bromo to the crater's edge, bearing gifts of fruits, flowers, vegetables, and even livestock such as chickens or goats. Once they reach the volcano's rim, they gather around the roaring, bubbling crater and throw their offerings into its deep funnel as a gesture of devotion and gratitude to the gods. Some participants use nets to catch objects that might be blown away by the wind, ensuring that their sacrifices reach the volcano's depths. This ritual is a heartfelt act of thanks, expressing the community's reverence for Bromo, which they believe grants them life, fertility, and abundance. The offerings are also seen as prayers for a bountiful harvest, good health, and peace within the community. The festival serves as a powerful reminder of the deep connection between the Tengger people and their natural environment, emphasizing their belief that the volcano's power sustains and nurtures their way of life. Meanwhile, Indonesia has witnessed a growing phenomenon, what can be called online escape, which has gained popularity especially on platforms like TikTok. This practice involves vulnerable individuals, often in desperate circumstances, recording and sharing videos of their hardships with the hope of eliciting donations or sympathy. Unfortunately, this trend raises concerns among the public and authorities alike, as many of these videos are staged or manipulated. For instance, some elderly women or other marginalized individuals upload footage of themselves bathing in mud or engaging in other dramatic acts, aiming to attract viewers' compassion and generate income. However, the reality is often far from genuine need. In many cases, the money collected through these videos never reaches the truly needy but instead is misappropriated by fraudsters or organizations seeking personal profit. This exploitation of vulnerable people turns their suffering into a tool for financial gain, undermining trust in genuine charitable efforts. The authorities have stepped in to address this issue, demanding the removal of such misleading videos from online platforms to prevent further deception. This trend reveals a troubling side of digital culture, one where the images and suffering of vulnerable individuals are exploited to generate revenue, often at their expense. The use of their appearances and health to evoke pity and collect donations creates a complex challenge for society. How to distinguish authentic need from deception? While some may genuinely seek help, the proliferation of fraudulent content makes it increasingly difficult for viewers to discern who truly requires assistance, leading to widespread skepticism and a decline in charitable trust. Finally, Indonesia stands out as the largest archipelagic nation in the world, a title it proudly holds due to its extensive chain of islands spread across the tropical waters of Southeast Asia. Geographically, Indonesia is the 14th largest country in terms of land area, making it a significant landmass on the global scale. Yet, when considering the total area, including its vast maritime territory, it ranks as the 7th largest country worldwide. This enormous expanse of land and sea encompasses thousands of islands, each offering a unique landscape, culture, and biodiversity. Traveling across Indonesia provides an unparalleled opportunity to experience a diverse array of environments, ranging from lush rainforests and active volcanoes to pristine beaches and vibrant cities. Visitors can immerse themselves in the rich cultural tapestry woven from hundreds of ethnic groups and traditions. Exploring this archipelago means discovering not just the natural beauty of its islands but also the resilience and warmth of its people, making Indonesia a truly remarkable and multifaceted. Indonesia, often referred to as an archipelago of countless islands, is truly a land of incredible diversity and natural beauty. While it is commonly said that the country is composed of over 7,000 islands, the exact number remains uncertain. This is primarily because many tiny islands are so low-lying that they become submerged during high tides, making it difficult to determine a precise count. The nation's landscape is a stunning mosaic, featuring towering volcanoes that dominate the skyline, lush tropical rainforests teeming with wildlife, pristine beaches where the soft sands stretch endlessly, and vast, scorching deserts that add to the country's varied terrain. This diversity makes Indonesia an ideal destination for nature enthusiasts and adventure seekers alike. Visitors can indulge in a wide range of activities, from mountain climbing and trekking through dense forests to snorkeling and diving in vibrant coral reefs. Historically, the Indonesian government has reported that the country boasts around 1,754 islands. However, recent research conducted over a period of 3 years by an Indonesian organization has suggested that the true number is closer to 13,466. According to data from the Central Intelligence Agency, Indonesia is home to approximately 17,508 islands. Meanwhile, the National Institute of Aeronautics and Space, in a report published in 2002, noted that there were about 1,877 islands. These figures illustrate just how complex and fluid the count of Indonesian islands truly is. One of the most captivating aspects of traveling through Indonesia is the chance to experience an astonishing array of languages, cuisines, and cultural traditions. Moving from one island to another reveals a tapestry of unique customs and practices, with each community proudly preserving its own identity. Visitors can savor local dishes that vary greatly from one region to the next, making culinary exploration an integral part of the Indonesian experience. This rich cultural mosaic ensures that every journey within the country feels like an adventure into a different world, leaving travelers with lasting memories of diverse traditions and heartfelt hospitality. In Indonesia, head coverings serve more than just a decorative purpose. They are a vital expression of cultural and religious identity. For women, wearing a headscarf, known locally as a hijab, is a common practice rooted in religious tradition. Made from lightweight fabrics such as chiffon, silk, or soft cotton, Hijabs come in a variety of colors and styles, allowing women to choose designs that reflect their personal tastes. When women wear the hijab, they cover their hair, neck, and chest, demonstrating their respect for Allah and adherence to Islamic teachings. This act of dressing modestly is deeply embedded in the fabric of Indonesian society, where religion plays a significant role in daily life. Similarly, in Indonesia, like in many other countries, religions such as Islam and Hinduism attach great importance to the wearing of head coverings during religious ceremonies and important events. For many, not donning a head covering or hijab during such occasions is considered a sign of respect and humility before divine figures and elders. Women who wear hijabs often also avoid public displays of affection, such as hugging or intimate gestures, as a way to uphold dignity and maintain harmony between genders. Instead, they prefer to communicate with courtesy and respect, respecting personal boundaries and giving importance to personal space. These customs help foster an environment of mutual respect and preserve social harmony. An intriguing story from Indonesia involves a man who gained widespread attention after revealing an extraordinary aspect of his personal life. Named Han, he is a 60-year-old resident of Melina village in West Java. Han lives alone, without any immediate family members or relatives nearby. His parents, as it is believed, have long since passed away, and his only sister resides with her husband. Han became famous after sharing his story with a popular YouTube blogger, which quickly went viral across various media platforms. Initially, Han was reluctant to give interviews, but persistent inquiries from journalists convinced him to speak openly about his life. Throughout his lifetime, Han was married 8 times. However, he officially registered only 40 of these marriages with the Religious Affairs Office. The remaining unions were conducted through traditional ceremonies, often following cultural customs rather than formal legal procedures. Interestingly, Han did not divorce from his previous wives, which meant that at one point, he was legally married to multiple women simultaneously. Despite being married 8 times, he was, in essence, only married to 4 women, as some of his marriages were arranged through traditional rites rather than legal divorce. This unique situation highlights the complexities of marriage customs and social norms in rural Indonesia, where traditional practices often coexist with official legal procedures, sometimes leading to multiple concurrent marriages. The exact number of children that the Sultan fathered from his various marriages remains uncertain, as records do not specify whether he had 3 or perhaps 4 offspring. What is known, however, is that his longest marriage lasted 14 years, while other unions spanned only a few years each. The Sultan's first marriage took place when he was just 14 years old, and his bride was slightly older, by 2 years. When asked about his frequent marriages, he explained that his actions were driven by a desire to show respect to his wives and to avoid making them feel like mere lovers or casual partners. He believed that by marrying women he genuinely liked, even if the relationship was brief, lasting only a month or a week, he was honoring them through formal commitment. What do you think about this man's attitude towards marriage and women? Feel free to share your thoughts below. Turning our attention to Indonesia, this vast archipelago is home to more than 100 species of animals that are now critically endangered, making it a true sanctuary for rare, exotic, and beautiful creatures teetering on the brink of extinction. Among these are the Sumatran tiger, the Sumatran rhinoceros, the dragon of Komodo, orangutans, the smallest breed of buffalo in the world, a magnificent male peacock, various sea turtles, and the fascinating tarsier. Despite covering only about 1% of the Earth's surface, Indonesia's lush tropical rainforests harbor a staggering 10% of all known plant species, 12% of all mammal species, and 17% of all bird species worldwide. Yet, this incredible wealth of biodiversity faces serious threats primarily due to human activities. Deforestation, driven by logging, resource extraction, and expanding urban areas, has destroyed many natural habitats, depriving animals of their homes, food sources, and breeding grounds. As forests are cleared, countless creatures lose their shelter and the ability to reproduce safely. Hunting and poaching also pose grave dangers. Many animals are killed for their meat, skins, horns, or to be kept as pets, fueling illegal wildlife trade and further accelerating the rate at which species vanish. In addition, climate change exacerbates these threats. rising sea levels, irregular rainfall patterns, and extreme weather events are severely damaging animals' habitats. The combination of habitat loss, illegal hunting, and climate shifts creates a crisis in Indonesia's biodiversity, with over 100 species now on the brink of extinction. This situation signals a profound ecological emergency, as the loss of these species would have dire consequences for ecosystems and human communities alike. The disappearance of native animals could lead to ecological imbalances, affecting water quality, soil health, and climate regulation. Moreover, humans would lose valuable natural resources and the cultural heritage intertwined with the country's wild fauna. Among Indonesia's remarkable natural treasures is the world's largest flower, the Rafflesia arnoldi, hidden deep within the dense tropical forests. This extraordinary bloom is famous not only for its immense size but also for its pungent, decaying smell, reminiscent of rotting flesh. Often called the corpse flower, the Rafflesia arnoldi is a marvel of nature, embodying the wild, untamed beauty of Indonesia's ecosystems. Unlike typical plants, it is a parasitic organism that lacks roots, stems, leaves, or any photosynthetic structures. Instead, it attaches itself to a host plant, drawing nutrients directly from it, which makes it one of the most unusual and fascinating botanical wonders on the planet. This plant's existence underscores the incredible diversity and complexity of Indonesia's natural environment, highlighting both its extraordinary beauty and the urgent need for its preservation. When the Arnoldia raffia reaches maturity, it begins to produce water and nutrients essential for its survival. During this period, it can bloom into enormous flowers, with diameters reaching up to 1 meter and weights of as much as 11 kilograms. These spectacular blossoms immediately draw attention due to their unusual beauty. Their thick, rough petals display vivid shades, often a striking combination of red and purple or various browns adorned with white spots. Despite their captivating appearance, these flowers are also known for emitting a strong, unpleasant odor reminiscent of decay. This foul smell plays a crucial role in attracting specific pollinators like flies and beetles, which are vital for the plant's reproduction process. Unfortunately, the Arnoldia raffia faces severe threats stemming from habitat loss and human exploitation. These factors have pushed this rare plant species toward the brink of extinction. Its importance extends beyond mere aesthetic appeal. The Arnoldia raffia holds significant scientific and ecological value. It is an integral part of the tropical rainforest ecosystem, contributing to biodiversity and environmental stability. Moreover, this plant is a valuable resource for scientific research, offering insights into unique biological processes and adaptations. Turning our attention to Indonesia, an archipelago renowned for its rich biodiversity, we find the perfect place to observe orangutans in their natural habitat. Besides Malaysia's Borneo, other key locations where these remarkable primates can be seen include Sumatra and the Indonesian portion of Borneo. In total, there are 3 distinct species of orangutans: the Bornean, the Sumatran, and the Tapanuli orangutans. Each species inhabits specific regions, with the Bornean orangutan being the most widespread. For visitors eager to witness these incredible creatures in Borneo, the most suitable national parks are the Tano Pudin National Park, Kane National Park, and Gunung Palung National Park. All 3 parks are located within the Indonesian part of Borneo and are considered prime sites for orangutan observation. These parks offer a unique opportunity to see more than 90% of the world's orangutan population, which makes Borneo the primary habitat for these animals. This high concentration underscores the region's importance for orangutan conservation. To observe the other 2 orangutan species, travelers should consider going to Sumatra. The Gunung Luzer National Park is the best choice for spotting Sumatran orangutans because of its extensive network of trails, which allows for easier navigation and exploration. To enhance the experience, it is advisable to hire a local guide familiar with the terrain and the animal's behavior. The Tapanuli orangutans are even more restricted, living only in the southern part of Sumatra, specifically in a small area south of Lake Toba. Compared to other regions in Southeast Asia, Borneo offers a safer environment for orangutans, with fewer predators and threats. This reduced risk helps protect the primates from attacks and contributes to their overall safety, making Borneo a critical sanctuary for these endangered animals. Indonesia is a country famous for its majestic volcanoes. earning the reputation of being the largest archipelago on Earth and part of the Pacific Ring of Fire. This nickname is well-deserved because Indonesia hosts the greatest number of active volcanoes on the planet. The nation's landscape is dramatically shaped by this volcanic activity, creating a landscape that is both awe-inspiring and majestic. With over 400 volcanoes, many of which are active, Indonesia surpasses all other countries in volcanic density and displays a breathtaking natural scenery. Among these many volcanoes, Indonesia's active volcanoes are particularly notable. There are approximately 120 that are currently erupting or showing signs of activity. Some of these volcanoes erupt regularly, contributing to the dynamic geological landscape. This high concentration of volcanoes is primarily due to Indonesia's strategic position on the Ring of Fire, where tectonic plates collide and converge. This geological activity causes magma from deep within the Earth to rise to the surface, forming numerous magnificent volcanoes across the archipelago. One of the most famous volcanoes in Indonesia is Krakatoa, whose catastrophic eruption in 1883 was one of the most powerful in recorded history. The explosion ejected ash and debris up to 40 meters high and caused significant loss of life, with over 36,000 fatalities. The eruption had far-reaching climatic effects and is remembered as a monumental event in volcanic history. Today, Indonesia's volcanoes continue to shape the landscape, attracting scientists, tourists, and adventurers eager to witness the raw power of nature manifested in these fiery giants. Indonesia is home to over 1,000 volcanoes, making it one of the most volcanically active regions in the world. Among these, some eruptions are frequent and powerful enough to thrill adrenaline seekers and nature lovers alike. For those eager to experience the raw power of nature firsthand, witnessing an eruption can be an unforgettable adventure, offering a glimpse into Earth's fiery heart. One of the most captivating sights is Mount Bromo, a picturesque volcano renowned for its vast crater and the stunning emerald lake nestled within it. This natural marvel provides an ideal setting for watching sunrises that paint the sky with vibrant colors, while the surrounding wild, majestic landscape offers a sense of awe and serenity. Visitors to Indonesia's volcanoes often find themselves immersed in a world where beauty and danger coexist, creating experiences that are both exhilarating and humbling. The volcanic activity across Indonesia brings numerous benefits to local communities. Rich mineral deposits formed by volcanic eruptions support agriculture, enabling farmers to cultivate fertile lands that yield abundant crops. Additionally, the allure of active volcanoes attracts tourists from around the globe, fueling the growth of a vibrant tourism industry that provides jobs and income for many Indonesians. However, these natural wonders also pose significant risks. Eruptions can occur suddenly and with great force, threatening the safety of nearby populations and causing damage to homes and infrastructure. Balancing the advantages of volcanic activity with the potential dangers remains a constant challenge for the region's authorities and residents. In sharing these fascinating facts about Indonesia, we hope to spark your curiosity about this extraordinary country. Do you find yourself drawn to its landscapes and natural phenomena? Would you like to visit Indonesia someday to experience its volcanoes and breathtaking scenery firsthand? Are there other topics or aspects of Indonesia that you would like us to explore in future discussions? Please feel free to leave your comments and share your thoughts with us. Thank you for watching our video. Remember, staying informed and curious helps us appreciate the wonders of our world. We look forward to seeing you in our next episode.